Hello, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Teeter, and today we are continuing on with CoreKeeper. And over to our world here, grab our little buddy. I did a teeny tiny bit since the last video, so it's going to look a little bit different, but don't worry, you didn't miss too much. So, a couple things of note. I continued smashing the brown crates that we saw in the last video, and I found a slightly better backpack. It just gives me 6 extra max health. I also found this hat, which I don't remember if I had in the last one, and also a fancy bomb. Additionally, I used some of my copper to make this fancy little feeding tray for my animals. Everybody that we led back in the last video is in here, and they're starting to drop milk and stuff. We can actually waltz in here and pick up anything they may have dropped. I think it's just this milk so far, but they should be full and producing. And actually, I think we learned last time that they can't actually fit through the doorways like that, so I might not have to close this. But it's a good habit to close. I also just expanded out the little mushroom room I had. I might do the same thing on the other sides and stuff in a little bit. Maybe make a bigger slime farm to be, or a bigger normal farm, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So last time I said if I could find a swift feather that we would fight the boss. I did not find a swift feather. I also don't really have a lot of food or health at the moment, so we're gonna keep farming. Start of this video, you'll see my farm is growing ever so slightly as we explore and we find more seeds and berries and stuff. We can plant more goodies. Now, the one thing I don't have at my base, I guess you could call it, is a water source, which is a little bit unfortunate. We'll have to go out of our way to get some water. Now, you can bring water back to your core or your base, but it takes a little bit of digging. Now, we haven't talked about digging up ground yet, so we can get into that today. So if you look at my map, I actually have a water source, which is right over here. Not the longest walk ever, but it is still a pretty long walk. Now let's say instead of over there, we wanted to have a water source over here somewhere. Now I think in a recent update, they added a bucket which you can put water into and move, which is very useful. But prehistoric times, we actually had to dig little rivers places to bring water where you wanted it. So let's say I wanted my water, I guess we could just put it right next to the garden, like in a little channel right here. In order to do this, we would actually have to dig up the ground. If you right click and dig the way that you dig, the little X marks the spots up. You can actually dig the ground up in a very similar fashion. And if you do this and eventually hit water, the water will free fall into the ground you dug. It takes a little bit, but once you do that, you can put the ground back down, or you can put bridges down. I'm going to elect to put the ground back down just because I think it'll look a little bit more natural. But there we go. Now we have our water right next to our garden, so we can just refill to our heart's content. Go ahead and put all my farming stuff away. So I'll get rid of this extra ground because we don't need it right now. Okay, well, I could use some food. So we're going to take our bomb peppers and heart berries. We're going to make the spicy pepper wraps we like so much. The hearty pepper wraps, rather. You'll see that our mushroom spawn is not only yielding the mushroom enemies, but it's also yielding actual mushrooms. So we can go in there and farm those as well. Also, I found some tin when I was breaking those wooden crates, but we're going to go find tin the normal way, so I'm not going to use that tin just yet. Take some of these out and eat them right away. Doesn't really help our food all that much, but that's okay. And now we're moving nice and quick. So let's go exploring. Let's head, I guess we haven't gone up yet. So let's go up. I guess we'll do so from the middle of here. And I will go and dig for some shiny stuff as we pass it. This right here. I'll head this way and get this stuff. In the dirt biome, it's all just copper. So once you have an abundant amount of copper, you can not have to worry about going to every single one of those. Now, there are stuff in the late game or things that you want to mass produce eventually that require a lot of copper, so it's not a bad idea to go and hit every shiny patch you see. But it does take a little bit of extra time, so... Ooh, okay. This over here is a giant mushroom that will boost our max health if I eat it. Now, that can be cooked too. I don't think you get any benefit from cooking the giant mushrooms. We'll go ahead and we'll grab and eat that real quick. You can only eat one of each food of the different types that raise your max health. So this guy, giant mushroom, plus 25 max health only once. And even though it can be cooked, it doesn't really do anything for you to cook it other than, I guess, giving you cooking XP. See, my health is at 132 right now. If we scroll over to this and eat, goes right on up to 157. Quick maths. Like it said, it can only happen once per character. It's not per world. So if I were to find another one of those, I'd either have to start a new character or give it to a friend that hasn't eaten one yet. I'm exploring a little bit. Oh, there's some more wooden crates over here. I actually want to go and break those because, as I said at the end of my last video, I'm looking for the, I think it's called Swift Feather or Dash Feather. I think it's called Swift Feather. But basically what it is it lets it, allows you to dash whenever you press the space bar. It has a cooldown. It's a short little dash, but it's good to kind of zip away from a little, you know, from danger, from an enemy that's about to tackle you, or from like the boss that's going to slam down on you. And it just kind of helps your movement and utility in general. I find that the dash feathers are really good offhand slot items, but there are others that you might want to use instead that you find later in the game. We'll talk about those once we bump into them. Okay, well, we know our boss isn't this way, so I'm not really scared about digging past all these enemies. Whole bunch of mushrooms over here. These bomb peppers shimmering? Oh no, they just normally look like that, I guess. Never noticed them shimmer like that before. I guess I don't normally look at them in the dark, though. Look at that. They're shimmering. Pardon me. I have no qualms with you today, sir. We'll just keep digging up until we end up in a new area. I'm switching away from my pickaxe in the sand just because I know that it'll wear my pickaxe down faster to use it on sand. Go for some more shiny stuff. So, outside of the dirt biome, you do eventually find a stone biome and a clay biome. Sequence-wise, you want to go into the clay biome before the stone biome, and it's actually easier to do so because you can get into it with just a copper pickaxe, whereas the stone biome, I think you are required to use a tin pickaxe to get into it. Each biome has better ores in it. The clay biome has tin, which is why you would go there first, because tin is the next progressive ore that you would get. And then the other biome has iron, which is a bit stronger. So we're at a gap again, just like before. We're actually gonna bridge across the gap as far as we can. And we actually found the stone biome, the Forgotten Ruins. Now we actually are breaking this wall with this copper pickaxe, but you'll see that it takes an insane amount of hits to break even one wall. Come on, come on. Boom. So if that isn't indicative of the fact that you don't come here first, I don't know what else would be. But generally speaking, the stone biome takes up 1/2 of the inner biomes, and the clay takes up the other half. So theoretically, if I head straight down instead of straight up, we'll hit the clay biome instead, which is where we want to go. Of course, on the way back, we'll restock a little bit. We'll get reinforce my pickaxe. We'll drop off what we dug for. We'll say hello to our... Oh my goodness, look at all this milk and wool. Hello. Give me all of your goodies. In return, I will give you guys some... Oh, I don't have much of anything, huh? We'll give you some mushrooms then. Enjoy. Definitely have more cows than I have mushrooms, but you know, it happens. Quickly move everything in there. Get the rest of our foods here. I guess we can cook something new. We've got 5 bomb peppers and 5 glow tulips. We'll see what that yields. We can go plant some more foods. My heartberry in here. Alright, there's no rhyme or reason to how I'm planting this stuff. It's all gonna come up kind of randomly. Okay, what else? Oh, we gotta put our copper away. Of course, of course. Boom. Actually gonna need some copper and some scrap parts if I want to reinforce my pickaxe. A 1 of each. Look at that. I was over prepared. Okay. I guess now we have an abundance of copper, we can see what else we can make at this workstation here. Let's up it to the copper. Glass smelter, which I don't think I care about. And we can do a copper anvil. Let's see what we have at the anvil. So the anvils work the same way as the workbenches. They allow you to scroll through them when you start getting higher level ones. Okay, so we can make some armor. It'll give us some health and armor, unsurprisingly. And we can make a sword, which does better melee damage than punching things with things like pepper wraps. There's also a wood bow, which is good for ranged damage. And a wooden shield, which can be equipped in your offhand slot. So because I don't have the dash feather yet, we can try the wooden shield out just to see what it's like. Do I have the wood to support making all of this? Yeah, why not? We'll get that, we'll get that, and we'll get this. And of course, like everything else, these can be reinforced at this table, so long as you have the goods, which we do. So we finally have a melee weapon. Now we have a ranged weapon as well. So the ranged weapons have infinite ammo. It's just durability, just like the rest of the weapons. And every time you hit an enemy from range, you get XP. We can actually use that to clear out our garden if we want. And that'll start giving me ranged XP. Only a tiny, tiny bit, but that's how you get that. Now the shield goes in our offhand slot. That is what the slot with the hand on it is. And whenever I... Oh, it's not right click. Spacebar. Whenever I spacebar, I crouch behind my shield and it blocks damage. Right clicking with the arrow actually lets you charge it and shoot. Is that 2 arrows? Maybe it's just a stronger arrow. It's hard to tell. But I think most weapons have right click abilities now. Oops, that's not a weapon. That's a shovel. I should eat something, says me. I should also go south, says me. So we're gonna go and try to find the clay biome. Now that we've got some swords and stuff, we should be able to do a little better job of staying alive as we go. And our goal, of course, is to find tin and find clay. I mean, clay is where you find the tin, but explore the clay biome next. I should have made some bridges. Okay, we're not too far away from home. I could just build another workbench and build more bridges. That's normally how I would do it, but because we're not that far away, it seems a little bit wasteful to do that. Here we are. Where's my wood? 28. We don't have a ton of wood, but we'll use up most of what we have. Because we won't really need it otherwise. Okay. Down we go. Now I could go fight that boss now. Using copper gear and the speed boost from our pepper wraps. That might be enough to get through that fight without taking too much damage. Of course, the ground is sticky and slippery. As I was saying in the first video, you can dig up the slime that's on the ground over there. Give yourself kind of a better time running around over there. But if you have that dash feather I was talking about, you can pretty much negate the slowness of the slime, because you can just dash right on over it, and it doesn't really affect you all that much. Alright, there's a bunch of food here. We had to deviate and let all these mushrooms go to waste. X marks the spot. Get a little skull. Guess I'll make this a straight path. Eventually in this game you get boats, so I didn't really want to cut off, you know, a river path or whatever. Because unfortunately, even though they've got bridges and doors and stuff, they don't have any bridges that work like doors. Or, you know, drawbridges. So unfortunately, when you start boating, there's no way through the bridges. So now we've reached the clay caves. This is the official second biome of the game. And you'll see in the very first wall. Oh, we get a giant thing of goodies too. In the first wall, we get tin. It says found clay wall, but also tin ore. This is the whole reason we come this way. We'll leave the tin ore in our bar just so we see how much we get. But just like I said before, whenever I enter a new biome, I try to explore and get to all the little shiny things in the walls. That was actually still copper. Uh-oh, I found larva. Okay, so this is a new type, not this. This is a new type of moss. This spawns cavelings. So I'm kind of surprised that the larva mother caused that to happen. Now I'm scared of those flashing guys, but not the other one. You're coming all the way, huh? Wow, look at you. You smack these before they hit you, they won't explode. But they normally explode into little pools of acid. You're wondering why my grubs are dressed up like vampires? It's because I have the Halloween mode turned on. You get special drops from Halloween mode. Specifically, there is a type of food that you can get only in the Halloween mode. They're called grumpkins. So the enemies that are dressed up like this mama larva, enemies that are dressed up like Halloween creatures can drop these little goodie bags that sometimes contain grumpkins, which are just angry looking pumpkins. And when cooked, they help with your, I think it's mining. I think that's one of the only foods in the game that helps with your mining skill, which is pretty important and kind of sad that it's blocked behind a holiday event. Thankfully, you can turn the holiday event on at any time, but it is a bit unfortunate that I have to have things that look like vampires and stuff just to get small chance at a mining food. But anyway, we persevere. We're gonna leave that little gaggle of things behind, and we'll just keep digging on down. Okay, so, oh boy, hello. I did not see that man right there. Here I was about to explain 3 different things on the ground. Now, I should have hit spacebar. Well, I mean, I didn't notice he was right there, but in a perfect world, I would have hit spacebar and maybe blocked some of that damage. Well, I guess we can go drop off the 1 piece of tin that I have, but then we're going to go exact our revenge and also go get all the stuff I just dropped. So, normally when you die, you drop all of your pocket contents, or all of your backpack contents, but you don't drop what's in your tool belt, your hotbar. And on the map, it will mark a little spot where you died. Was, you know, straight down. I guess I'll equip my ranged weapon, and we'll just shoot that guy who decided to throw, I think it was a spear that he threw at me. Very rude. But, death is not the end in CoreKeeper. It's just a temporarily inconveniencing setback. Now, there's the culprit down there, wiggling around. Very hard to see. Oh, he's going at it again. Oh, he got me. We got him first. Okay, so what I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted last time. Just interact with this and get my stuff back. This stuff on the ground is what spawns those guys. You'll see moss like this around the game. The fungal soil we got is the only kind that doesn't spawn cavelings, I think. But that was a type of caveling. Caveling, of course, are the people of this realm, I guess. Oh, look, we just got caveling bread as well. It's on the ground a chrysalis, I think it's pronounced, or chrysalis. And that's what spawns, or quote-unquote attracts, the larva enemies. Of course, I like to collect all that stuff that you can use to spawn enemies, because then you can choose to spawn them in certain places. I'm going to get rid of some stuff. I'll get rid of a piece of fungal soil so we can get that tin. I thought I had the tin in my hotbar. Oh, I did have the tin in my hotbar, and then I put it away and got other stuff. We'll blow up the wall. That's a lot of fun. It's scary when you do it by accident. Anyway, this big thing, it's too hard, I need a drill. In recent updates, they actually made a drill that you can get in the early game. Originally, though, you have to beat all the bosses in the first area and unlock the post-game in order to get the ore that's out there and get... Oh, hello. Speaking of the bosses. Hiya. He wasn't phased. Anyway, you had to get all the way to the second area in order to get a drill, which was tragic. And then all these giant sources of ores would just kind of have to wait until you were that far along in the game. But now you can actually make drills at the tin workbench, as far as I understand. Hopefully we can see some proof of that here soon. Guy wants a fight. Oops, and I don't have my sword out. Yeah, this area, as you can tell, if you were to fight that other boss that just drove by, would also be quite difficult because of how slow the goop makes you move. But again, if you can find yourself that dash feather I was talking about, or that swift feather, I think it's called, it really helps with that. So if we're fortunate enough, we'll find one of those. Just now we found some gold. I'll get rid of this one piece of wall that I have. I'll pick up the gold ore. 4 hits on those guys. 3 hits on the smaller guys. Okay. New talent point available in running. So we'll see that this path that he carves actually loops all the way around the inner area. It is a perfect circle, just about. Well, I shouldn't say perfect circle. It is jagged. But it's a circle that goes all the way around here. And he just loops in a big old circle. It's an easy way to kind of craft out or carve out your map and see where your biomes are. Your clay versus your stone biome. It's a little difficult to move through here though, so I'm going to take my food for a little speed boost. And actually we found the stone biome already. So now we know where the stone biome cutoff is. One thing, if you're patient enough to use your copper pickaxe on these walls, is you can actually see iron ore in these walls. You can also see these things that will explode and help destroy the walls, I guess. There's another type of clay that you can use to summon more cavelings. What can I get rid of? Inventory's kind of full of stuff I want. I'll get rid of some sand. Actually, get rid of this acid stuff too. Okay, so here we have mine carts and railways. This is useful for travel if you're willing to put that stuff down. I'm kind of too lazy for that. Especially because if you go to the right places, you can actually find, like go-karts and stuff. These cavelings that are here hit very hard. There is a new type of cattle here, though. As you can see, the little roly-poly bug guy. I kind of wish that we can get him to come home with us, but as of right now, I'm a little bit scared to hang out here. Here is a piece of iron. Of course, this is going to take like a million hits just to get. But we can bring this on back and see what iron looks like in a little bit. We will get rid of fiber, maybe. Boy, it's really hard to tell. Actually, I'm just gonna eat this tender pepper wrap. Eating up unnecessary room in my inventory here. And we'll put my torches in the hotbar, I guess. What is this? A wall? Oh yeah, the wall that was with the iron. Yeah, normally when you find the minecarts, you can get at them, and as long as you're on a track, you can drive all around. And of course, you could dig up and move those carts as well, so if you wanted to use them to zip around the map, you could. There's also cars and stuff you can find. So once you get a car in the early game, in recent times, I like to use the car in this big old circle here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Leave me alone, Mr. Boss. Ooh, he just annihilated that little dude that was right there. Rest in peace, little man. New type of food over here. Oh, and we got new enemy type here too. Normally these are shaman enemies that look more like shamans than jack-o'-lantern creatures, but because I have the Halloween mode on, they look a little bit different. This is a brute coming my way. He can smack the ground and it ripples a little bit. Kind of scary. Boom. Boom. Oh yeah, so that's just like a guaranteed critical shot or something. Right-clicking with this is actually more cost-effective when it comes to cost of, boy. The durability cost is less if I do this. Oh, I missed. He took a lot of hits, huh? Anyway, this is a new type of food. Come with its own seeds. And then, yeah, it's a new enemy type. We're gonna run away from here. I'm gonna try to find more room for this food, though. Caveling bread you can't cook, so we're just gonna eat that for the food benefit. Munch, munch. Get some Karoks in their seeds. Oh, I gotta make room for the food itself. Let's get rid of... Well, we'll get this stone moss later. Let's take the food for now. We'll try to keep going through here. More food right here. We get our gardening stat to get boosted a little bit. And I'm just realizing the time, so we should probably head back. If I get an opening, we will head back to base and we will wrap this video. Oh, we were almost at this stone biome. We'll dig back this way. But yeah, I guess that'll do it for now. I can handle that on my own. I promise I won't get up to too much else unless it presents itself to me off camera. Ow. Or unless I die. Suppose that's an option too. I'd rather not die. Wait, I was on fire forever. Okay. Let's heal some food. We'll keep running. We'll check our map, and I passed where I wanted to go. So we will head back. Let that guy forget me. This is about right. We'll go here. But anyway, this is going to do it for this video. I'm just going to tunnel back to base and empty my pockets and call it a vid. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to check out my other videos on this channel because I play games just like this all the time. And come on over and check out my Twitch channel because we stream games like this all the time and many others. But if you watched it this far, I appreciate you for supporting the channel. And until next time, I hope you take care. Bye now.